Luigi. Thank you, thank you. Favorite Mario Kart retrack? Man, that's a hard question. I think Koopa Cape holds the most like nostalgia for me, which I think matters the most to me. Like when I play it, it reminds me most of my childhood, I guess. It's probably Koopa Cape. I don't know why. Something about it. H-Fox is letting me know what that means to the truth. I'm not rating H-Fox. Longest thing on this stuff. Am I 16? I am 21. Off by 5 years. The process I go through from notification. Well, my brain constantly releases a stream of nonsense, so sometimes I just type out whatever. Quantify, think of it as a sub. Golden pipes, I told you. You didn't even get it. Hopefully this works. What am I doing? I'm playing Edge of Destiny. You remember? Because we need to beat it. And if I don't beat it, then we can't move on with everything, you know? So I think it's time we get something done today. Let's do something real. Okay. Alright, today is the day we do. No more don't, only do. We also think for the sub. It's like how Yoda said it. You guys remember Yoda? He said some like dumbass quote that doesn't actually make any sense. Like, do or do not, there is no try. That quote doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna be real with y'all for a sec. That quote is just bogus. I don't know what the hell he's saying, bro. No, you had died a while ago. Oh, I forgot about that, sorry. Leave him Nick, thank you for the sub. I think it's meant to make any sense? Maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Luke was all like, oh, now I get it. I don't know. I don't know. You heard me say it was 13 3 years ago? Well, that's just not true. I was trolling, if that is what you heard me say. I wasn't even 13 6 years ago. Closer to 9. Right. 8, I think. 8 plus... I already forgot the first number. I'm gonna make a great math teacher. So I'm doing something unprecedented today. I'm actually trying. Jackpot, thank you for the gift sub. Yeah, I can talk just fine, like full conversation, but if literally simple addition while doing GD is actually impossible. It's that, I don't know why. Like, I will forget one of the numbers involved. I won't be able to do the tricks needed. It won't happen. It's like they use the exact same part of the brain, and the brain's like, nope, that's already in use. Sorry. I'm not really sure what's going on there. nice thing. My gender is none, but I go he, him because I don't care. I don't have like it doesn't work. This concept doesn't make it in my brain. Only because it didn't load. It's not like any sort of like anything. I just don't really understand what that word even really means, to be honest with you. But that's not non-binary. Let me make that clear. That's still an attachment to gender to some extent. First time viewing. How are you doing? Welcome to my stream. I just want to stay awake. I don't know, I can't fall asleep anymore, so I have the opposite issue. I can't help you anymore. You will not get banned for using Mega Hack, no. My main advice is don't just sit there doing nothing. You know what I mean? Because if you do that, then it's actually over. The moment you're like, oh, I'll just watch YouTube and hopefully stay up, I'll get lost in the video. Now, you have to do something with your hands. You know? Play a game or do something. You can't just sit there. It's gotta be engaging. It can't be cookie clicker. That doesn't count. There needs to be some stakes involved, you know what I'm saying? What? So this part isn't working at all anymore. As far as consistency goes. Well, if you want to... Well, that's fine. I don't care, but you can't fall asleep if you're trying to stay awake. This part's so, like, actually the least consistent part of the level, and it's at 50%, I think. Like, I actually think it's the least consistent part. I cannot do. Hello, question GD. Welcome back. Yeah, that wave just decides whether or not I'm doing anything today. Like, it's just gonna be like, you can pass. No. It's like a swamp gate, but instead of being controlled by currency, it's controlled by a random dice roll that happens that I cannot control. Or even watch happen. I can only see the outcome. Cool. I don't think Elon asks anyone. He just goes to Twitter and it's like, today we'll be removing the block feature. Thoughts? And then everyone on the team is like, you can't, sir. Sir, with all due respect, we can't remove the block filter. Already have one. I did a click to save it and then I died in it. Elon Musk only cares because he knows, like, a lot of people, their only block is him. And it's the same for me. Elon's, like, the only person I block. Because what happens is, if you don't block Elon, everything he replies to and likes will be in your feed. You don't need to follow him. It's like you follow him, but if you don't. That's why he cares so much. He's like, everyone needs to listen to what I'm saying, so we need to get rid of the block feature. It's gotta go. Even when I just had it muted for all, because I don't need a block. It still happened. Like, I was getting the most, like, insane right-wing nut job things in my thing. Even when I had him muted, I was like, this has to end ASAP, I'm afraid. I did not see it. That's crazy. Who got it? Clantis? Clantis! Clantis. Yeah. I wish I could block this part so I don't have to play anymore. No, not much Celeste lately, to be honest with you. No, you can't delete the mute feature, you can't delete the block feature. You can't do any of that. So I think we're fine. I don't think Thank God there's some regulations in place, you know what I mean? Like, even the bare minimum regulations being in place are pretty nice. You make it so you can't block him. There's still probably a rule against that. Oh, nice. Pass wave one more time. Yeah, this is baseline. Either these clips are super easy or they break every time. These two blue orbs. Yeah. Obsidian. Is this harder than Obsidian? Nothing's harder than Obsidian. Except for Bedrock. We all know that. They just put a giant, like instead of just a void under all the bedrock, they just put like a gigantic lava pit. The whole thing. Like, well, you made it past the crust. You happy? You're gonna burn forever now. Look under the outer mantle. Genius. The void represents nothing. Sub 9 dice, think of the sub. Isn't that the one where it's like... Or it's like 10 seconds long or something? And then there's a duel that goes... And then it goes to a ship and then it goes to like cube timings or something? I swear to God I've seen a level that looks like that. I remember thinking the duel was pretty cool. But I don't think the song changed. If I remember correctly, it's like the song didn't change much enough to... Because, like, the gameplay changes were very drastic throughout, but I don't remember the song changing much to represent it. But I guess everyone has a different view of representation. Well, some people have no view of representation, to be fair, but it's not my default assumption. Also, just some people don't care. Lots of different possible. Thank you for the 170 Australian dollars. Codependence when? I don't think that one's happening. I wonder if people like Zoink are gonna go for it. You want to do it? I think it would be really interesting, wouldn't it? I just wish, like, I would have to get used to keyboard though. Yeah, October's busy. October's a busy time. Like, it would be interesting to try to figure out how to play, but then I'd have to get used to keyboard because there's no way I can do that with the mouse. That level's like on its it's definitely closer to GD the Mania, but it's still on its way there. You know what I mean? No, couldn't I just get this run? I'm never gonna beat this level, let's be real. Because I'm gonna get to the ending and then one of the 85 zillion deaths that I've had there would happen, right? Like, how would I ever realistically beat this? It's not even like I can say it's nerd, because it's not. I'm not like, oh my god, I wonder if I get... Like, no, I just can't... Like, there's too... I think it's just too many timings in a row for my stupid-ass brain to, like, do it. Practice. Here's the thing that people don't need to understand about me. I have practiced the hell out of the ending every day. You know what I mean? But it doesn't change that my brain is like, there's so many things in a row to do, and then it can't figure it out. I'll get that fluke AF. Easy. That's my biggest weakness right there. I don't think I'm actually that bad at the game, but doing enough parts in a row like that, it just doesn't work. I'm not consistent. My consistency is the worst of any like decent player, I'd say. Now, raw skill's fine. I can do things. But who cares? Can't replicate it consistently. Even challenges require consistency though. That's why I'm bad at them too. Everything in GD requires consistency, even if it's like 15 seconds long. It's just shortening the... Increasing the difficulty and shortening, like, hold on, I'll explain it after this run. Can't think of what I want to say right now. Cool, dude. Okay, well, like, this, hey, Majestic, what's up, dude? Here's the thing, okay? With the thing with challenges is, like, imagine a bar, okay? And this bar is, like, ability to play the level well. Every time a hard timing appears, that bar takes a hit. You know what I mean? It goes down a little bit. And if there's enough of those in a row, then your playing ability drops to like 0 and you're probably gonna die. You know? And it takes time to refill that bar. Like, so there needs to be breaks. And the problem with challenges is there's so many, like, hard timings that lower that bar by so much each time. It's like the bar instantly drops to like 0 after like 5 seconds of gameplay. So it's like, it's the same thing, but just takes less time to get there, in my opinion. So that's mostly just an analysis of my own gameplay. $10-14. 10-14. Oh, damn it. $10-14. I always forget about it until it happens. Yeah, I hope at 97 I just have to straight fly to the end and 10-14 comes up and then I die. What is 10-14? My game always tabs out at 10-14 for a reason that is unknown to me and everyone else. That's just how it is, you know? Cool. Do my parents ever use Microsoft Family Time for restrictions? No, because here's the thing. My computer, up until 10th grade, my computer was, imagine, so I want you to paint a mental image here. Imagine the door, right? You enter like the main door. You open the door and then you walk into the foyer, yeah, something like that. And then you look to your right, and there's this giant arch that there's like no door. And then right in there is my computer. And on the other side of that is the kitchen. So the kitchen's here, like the main entrance is here. And there's traffic going in all the time. No one's gonna, like, if I'm on my computer for too long, they'll find out, you know? And they did. It was rough. And then in 10th grade, I moved into the chapel attic thing. How do you get 2 notifications for the stream? I don't know. Sometimes it sends out 0 notifications. I think it just bugs randomly. I wanted to do that for Oblivion because I had all my things recorded, but I just couldn't figure it out, and it was too much on my my computer. But I wanted to like layer together every like attempt past like 36 I ever got in Oblivion. And then have them all die and stuff like that, so you could like see how many times I died, but there was just, I could not figure out how to do it, and the footage has been deleted to save space, so. Unfortunately, such a thing will never exist. As cool as that would look. Come on, man. Really? Not there right now, dude. The ball. Yeah, like the 100 Mario, yeah, that thing. I think that'd be cool, but there's just no way to do it. I need to practice the ball. I usually never die there, so something's off. Yeah, I don't know. I just cannot do it right now. I guess I can do this. Okay, seriously? Like, I don't want to get mad today, but like, oh my god, I need to stop doing that. That's not funny. Like, I cannot do that from the beginning of the level, dude. I can't. In fact, I'm gonna go practice that right now. Jesus! I wanted a good run from there. You just gotta be careful. Oh, I didn't realize it was like a timing like that. The best one to 100 is like actually from here, which is not good. Humanities by feeling a part that'll never ever come my way. Here's the thing, man. Life is relative. You know, we all got our own challenges and struggles and stuff like that. If you spend your whole life comparing, like, oh, I don't know how is he mad about this, even though I'll never even be able, like, here's the like, there's stuff you can do that I can never do. You know, that's just how it is. People have their own skills. They put their time into stuff. You know, it's not I don't know. You know, in life you got Roblox. Yeah. Well, there are kids that are starting, yeah, it's different. In relation to the first world. Different story outside of there. I wish he said Roblox. The only reason I care is I'm actually trying really hard today. Like, I haven't actually like tried as hard as I'm trying right now in a long time. Believe it or not. So every death is pissing me off, but I think I'm trying too hard. To the point where I'm hyperfixating on timings. And that's not gonna do no good. Yeah, I'm trying too hard. I heard somewhere that, like, the best percent to try it is, like, 85%. Which makes sense, but that's a hard thing to do on purpose. It doesn't help that I have zero control over my character today, but it's also because I care so much that I'm beating myself up over every mistake. I have to do the laundry, like, tomorrow, which is so tragic. Because I don't have a washer or dryer. I gotta go to, like, a laundromat, which is like, oh. I'm not a big fan of it. But that's life. Fan interaction in public laundromat. I don't know if I've ever seen someone sober at a public laundromat in my life. That's half due to the hours I go, because it's 24 hours, to be fair. And I don't want it to, like, inconvenience my day. GHJ, thank you for the raid. I think it's like, I don't live in the suburbs or nothing, I live in the city, you know what I'm saying? And that's a different environment. I'm doing alright. I'm trying to get somewhere in the cell, but it's just not working. It pisses me off. I'm too stressed out right now, dude. I need to relax a little, bro. It's hard, though. When you get in that state. And I just keep dying to the same ass area. Yeah. I mean, it's a hard click, obviously. No one's gonna look at that and be like, that's, you know, easy part of the level. Because you're coming right out of this, like, chamber thing, this thing, and then you're going right into there. Yeah. I need to stop having this attitude where every time I play this level, I'm like, it's whatever, it doesn't matter if I do nothing today. Because that's what's killing me, really. I mean, I know it makes more entertaining streams if I'm not like that, but, like, I've been on this for, like, years, it feels like, and nothing has been done, and that needs to end. And it's not gonna end by me sitting there going, oh, you know, we'll get done whenever. you know. Yeah, if I try too hard, though, I just fry my brain and nothing gets done. It's very difficult. I tried an approach for the longest time where I was just like, if I don't care too much about it, but still try, I'll do fine. But, it's just not working. I've been playing this for so long, and I'm not getting anywhere. I mean, the truth is, it's just too hard for me. And I'm not saying that in any... Everyone's like, oh, but you can beat it. And yeah, I can. That's not the problem. I mean, when I say it's too hard for me, I mean that I am not of the skill where piecing this together is anything other than luck, if that makes any sense. Like, it's just luck whether or not it all pans out. There's no amount of trying that I can do that's going to make it happen any quicker. It's just whether or not I get lucky enough to do all the parts consistently. That's what I mean when I say I'm not good enough for it. Yeah. I think my issue is with Oblivion, I was so hardcore the entire time about it that when I started to play Edge of Destiny, I was like, let me try the opposite approach of just like being lax about it all the time. But I think it's somewhere in the middle, and I messed up by trying to go all the way over to being lax about it. Problem is when I try hard, then I die, and the death, it makes me more mad at myself than I want to be, because I'm trying that hard. Just as a, you know, as a consequence of caring that much. Yeah, my daily playtime is a fraction of Oblivion. I wasn't playing no other games when I was playing Oblivion. I'd open Bridge like once every 3 days and be like the only other game I play. Cool. Is it just a mental block, or do you feel physically worse of the game? This doesn't feel like mental. It's getting harder for me to run into mental blocks anymore. I feel like I've very much pinpointed down why I struggle with levels, and all the experiences I have kind of seem to reflect it. I was talking about the bar thing and then losing focus if there's too many hard timings in a row. Because for most people it's nerves, you know? But I wouldn't say that that's applicable to me at this current point in time, because I don't really get far enough to... But it's a good level. I'm weak. No, I'd say I'm bad. You can call me bad, but calling me weak is a misnomer. If I was weak, I wouldn't try every day that I could. I've already proven that to myself. Feel free to call me bad, though, if that's true. But, I mean, I don't have any ego or anything attached to that anyway. No, I'm bad, but I'm not... I'll say this for the zillionth time. When I say I'm bad, it's not in comparison to anyone else. It's just that I've been playing for this long, and I'm unable to gain skill in areas such as building consistency over super hard levels, and stuff like that. There's no... disillusionment there. I've been playing a very long time, okay? You have to understand that. And I know that, like, I've always taken longer than all my peers because I've always been able to keep up at first, but I've always slowed down because I'm unable to gain that consistency that they can. And that's not me self-deprecating, that's just true. But when I say I'm bad, I don't care. It's just the truth. It's not like I'm saying that. I'm like, when I say that, I'm not like, oh, I really secretly hope that everyone in the chat's saying, oh, but you're actually really good, don't worry about it, because that's not what I'm saying I'm bad for. It's just the truth of the situation, and I'm going to keep trying to do things in spite of it, but it is still the reason why I take long times on things, you know? Why is consistency a problem for me? Mostly because of the way my brain processes information. Because my brain incorrectly processes information and assigns incorrect focus to a large amount of things, my brain gets fatigued really quickly when I'm trying to do all these timings in a row, because I'm struggling to focus on the information that's important, because when I'm looking at the screen, I'm taking more of it than I should be, and I can't control that aspect of it. And so my brain gets fatigued, and then everything just starts blurring if I get too far into a run or something, or if there's too many hard things in a row. But it's not about the length, because really long levels, if they're not so hard like Autism Miracle, no issue there. Yeah, it's just an autism thing. That's why I'm saying I'm not self-deprecating when I'm saying like, I'm bad. Like, it's just... I was born with what I was born with, man. You know? You think that ever let me, like, you think that ever made me stop doing anything? No. That's why I'm here right now. The way people see autism now is weird. It's almost like something to be admired in people. You know? I don't know. The way I see it on the internet, people are like almost treated as like some sort of special like gift or something. I don't know. Or like some quirk about it. Just like whatever, I guess. Yeah, they like romanticize it almost. Like it's some... I don't know. It's weird to me. It's just weird. Here's the thing, autism itself isn't a disability, but it messes with random values, and it can be a disability, and is classified as such, you know, if it falls under a specific type, or this, or this, or this, you know? Yeah. I think the reason a lot of people are against the concept of people having mental illnesses, or against the concept of people being like different genders or anything like that, is I think a lot of the reason why people are so against that is because they don't want other people to feel special. They see everyone giving these people attention because of these things that make them different, and in their head they're like, that's not fair, they're getting attention for something, and they're making them feel special when they shouldn't be, or whatever, and so people start lashing out against this group, saying it's not real and you don't deserve this attention or whatever. And I think it's one of the main, because it's difficult, because a lot of people with these, you know, whatever, either there's laws passed against them or discrimination or stuff like that, that people want to be, you know, working against, and, you know, being proud of who they are and that sort of stuff, and then people see that and they're like, they're getting attention, we need to, and it's just this infinite repeating cycle of people need rights and less discrimination, and then people are like, you need to stop being special, and then they try to do that, and then they're like, no, you can't do that because we don't like you for the reason that we only made up because you don't have the rights in the first place, and then you protested that, and then it's just literally an infinite cycle. Yeah. Yeah, transphobia is a lot of projection and a lot of being mad that people are getting attention, blah, blah, blah. I uploaded an OC score on my second channel today, actually. It's really good, I'm proud of it. It's my first ever uprated beta Dan like score. I it was the violation, I uprated it, and I cleared it with like a 96 or something, which is really cool. Not that Dan's mean that much, but just like, I don't know. I don't take it that seriously, but it's nice to have done something harder than what people consider to be beta, you know? I get annoyed when people are always like, you can't, how dare you refer to this as a Dan score or this or this and this. I'm just like, it's not, if you don't take it that seriously, it's fine. Relax. Cool. Thanks for it, Squishy Man. Yeah. People almost want to have something that makes them, like, different or whatever. But not so in the way of, like, what they actually do with their lives, because that'd be too much work, right? I just can't do this wave right now. The $4, 9 spots. You just donated me, GD. Actually. The way I see it, there are no two worse human sins than greed and jealousy. Those are by far the worst two. Almost every single problem ever is from greed and jealousy. Isn't envy the same thing as jealousy, really, though? I wouldn't say spite is jealousy. Spite can be a very powerful motivator. I wouldn't say it's inherently evil. Like, non-lethal spite can be very useful. Stuff like when someone's like, you could never do this. Sometimes that's the motivation you need right there. You know what I mean? But there's never a good case of jealousy. Jealousy doesn't make you improve your life. It makes you hate those who have a better life than you, you know? It's not a positive or constructive force. It just makes you look at others and get mad that you're not them, but not mad enough or constructive enough to actually do anything about it, but instead just demonize them. That's what jealousy is. And then you make up a story about them in your brain that isn't even true. And then you start believing it. And then the truth is just gone. I guess I didn't hold long enough. Brutal. Just completely and totally brutal. I've never even died like that in practice. Yep, I didn't hold long enough. I didn't hold long enough. That's it. That's the only reason why I died there. I haven't even died there in practice. To that, specifically. I'm gonna lose my sanity, I'm just focusing today. So I'm not as, I'm using more resources on the game, so I'm not as, talkative, I guess. That's pretty much it. I'm not even that bad at the game today, I'm just bad at waves. I just don't got the wave score right now. I can just feel on my bones that wave is not my move today. Yeah, inspiration is different than jealousy. That's true, yeah. I could have totally done like that, just not even thought about it, but it was so important at that moment that... Yeah. But yeah, I seriously think that, that jealousy will tear the human race apart and we won't make it. Unless we hand the reins over to technology at some point. Even greed, if we could all set aside our differences and unite and stop, like, very powerful corporations from taking advantage of us, we would be fine. We could stop greed. Like, yeah, people are at the power, but as a collective, we could stop it. But if we're not and uniting, because we're squabbling over stuff that doesn't matter instead. And they know that, and they're keeping it that way. Are we gonna know how repetitive my chat is? No, not really, because it's like, a lot of people don't watch enough to know what's been said or what's going on, and oftentimes I can just, like, ignore them or just quickly recap if it's been a little while. And then respond to people who've been here for a while and we're just talking and that sort of stuff. It doesn't really bother me. Maybe it annoys them to not get an answer, but I can't just parrot the same thing all stream, and I also can't put something on stream, like, I might not respond. You know, it's just how streaming works, you know? And I think, sensible people, when they ask a question they don't get a response, to be like, I guess, either, you know, you didn't read it, or you already answered it, or something like that. It doesn't bother me at all. And it's not their fault. It's no one's fault. It's just how streaming works, you know? I can't just repeat the same stuff over and over again. That's my day. I woke up really late. It wasn't that good. I just couldn't wake up. That's also because I couldn't sleep, though, so that's definitely why. Yeah, it's a later dose of streaming. Yeah, I know about Chris Talked. They're pretty good. People are like, they're controlled by greedy corporations, and I guess, yeah, but, I mean, the visuals are really good, and not everything is motivated by that. Although, yeah, I do take it with a grain of salt, obviously, but it's not like the whole thing is discarded because it's funded by really rich people. There's still very useful and important information in there. But people are so binary. It's like, well, they're this, so everything they say is bad. It can only be one or the other. Only one or the other. Genius. Critical thinking is dead. Yeah, it's a thing. Like, everything is controlled. Like if everyone knew how much content they were ingesting was, you know, controlled by some sort of higher up of something, they would just stop using the internet entirely. Like, everything is that. You have to understand. Yeah, there's interesting topics. That's all that really... But they won't know that. Because, you know, something that's not exactly brought to the forefront. I mean, not that it takes much critical thinking to get there, but not something most people are willing to put in. So. Nine Splash, thank you for the $1. No problem, Road Rollada. I appreciate it. Yeah, life's hard, you know? Things happen. That's why I think entertainment's so important. I mean, because if you really look at the world, you can really just get caught up in thinking it's all terrible, you know? And I guess people will always kind of look at entertainment and be like, that's a useless job, you should be doing this and this and this. And, you know, not everyone should be doing this and this. I mean, yeah, entertainment's, you know, not everyone needs to do it, and there's probably too many people in it. And even now it's being, you know, corrupted by this and this, but true entertainment has its place. It just, I think it helps the human experience feel a little less hopeful. More hopeful, not less hopeful. You get me? That's my job right now. It's not even always a distraction from misery. Sometimes it's the inspiration you need while being entertained. Sometimes it gives you a drive to do something, or it gets you off your feet maybe, or whatever it is. Maybe just seeing someone else accomplish something, or seeing someone else do something might get you to look at your own life and be like, maybe it's my turn, you know? What if the entertainment is also in despair? Well, that's a different kind of entertainment. Some people really enjoy watching someone else be miserable because it fills them with, like, catharsis or something. I don't know. They have terrible lives. I want to see someone else have a terrible life too. They're like, haha. Or just, I don't know. People like that. There's people that people watch that are just miserable people just to make fun of them. Which, even if the streamer's a loser, if you go to someone's stream just to make fun of them, you're also a loser, by the way. Why would you not be a loser? That's all you do with your free time? That's not even about taking the piss on that person specifically. It's just you going somewhere to take a piss at someone. What kind of person does that make you? played Terraria. I don't think I could be a therapist. Honestly, for the same reason that I don't think I could be a lawyer or anything like that, or anything. There are bad people in the world. They might come in for therapy, and I wouldn't want to help them. I don't have the ability to do it. Like, not that very bad people are common, but MXVI, thank you for the raid. Just the conceptualization of someone coming in, and every time you're able to realize that they're the problem, and you tell them they're the problem, and they never listen to you, and then they just leave eventually. The concept of that doesn't make me very happy. Some people want to go to therapy just to boost their own ego. Like, I'm serious. I know it sounds cruel, but a lot of people are like that. And I'm not saying it's very common, because it's definitely not. To make that very clear. Most people that are in therapy are there for a very good reason. But, that being said, there are a lot of people who have gotten the piss beaten out of them in life because of their own fault, you know? And more so even just that they're in a bad place mentally, literally just because they're a bad person. Which I think some people are bad people. And then they'll go try to see a therapist to, like, get some of that back, I guess, you know? But some people just don't change, man. And it pains me to say that, because for a lot of my life I thought that everyone could change, but no. I don't know what made it. I don't know if it's a product of their environment. I don't know if it's just the kind of genetics they got, the kind of brain they got. But thanks, Ox. I like that message. Who's going okay? Yeah. And some people, like, if you're a therapist, some people don't want you to be brutally honest. They actually genuinely just want you to sit there and praise them. And you can be like, you know, that's not what I'm paying, that's not what you're paying me for, and they just will leave or something like that. I don't know if I can take it. They just want you to lie. They're only going because everyone around there broke their fragile ego and they won. I don't know. Want someone to fix it. That they're paying to fix it. Not paying to fix them. But yeah, it's still a less extreme example than being a lawyer. I don't think I could sleep at night. You imagine defending someone successfully that you know did it. Like, you would bet millions that they did it, and you just let them free. I can't imagine a more brutal job in my life. I literally can't. You have to be, like, soulless. I think, shows on TV kind of romanticize it a little bit. A lot of it. Because most of the clients are innocent, it's seen as some great moral thing, and I'm not above it. I mean, Phoenix Wright is one of the best games ever. Like, seriously, it's so good, but in a real-life scenario, just completely different, you know? And they tackle those issues in Ace Attorney. They really think about it, you know? But the real world is a crazy place, man. Yeah, that's true. Most cases go as plea deals. But I've seen, you know, There's been cases. Stuff like Kyle Rittenhouse, right? It happens. I guess it wouldn't happen to everyone. Same if we said for a prosecutor, you know. And there's a good and bad. As someone said, you know, you're keeping innocent people out of jail, and you know, on the flip side, you're putting guilty people in jail. You know, but you know, the opposite is also true. You're letting guilty people go, and you're putting innocent people in on the opposite side. And I think it's an unfortunate byproduct of any justice system at all. And it's important, and it needs to happen. But I could never imagine having that job. That is for someone else. It would weigh too heavily on my mind. What if this? What if that? Did I? How could I? I can't let questions like that rattle around in my brain. I just can't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not just America. For once, America doesn't even have the worst system here. There's way worse systems, justice systems, than America's. That is one thing. America's got pretty bad almost everything, and the justice system is no better, especially the police system. That's probably the worst aspect of it. But, that being said, there are some terrible, terrible countries when it comes to that. Prison system's garbage. The justice system's probably the only link in the chain that works at all. How bad is America recently? I think it depends where you are. I mean, as someone who lives in New York, I think New York, and I'm also in upstate New York. I think upstate New York and New England is about as good as you're gonna get in America, to be honest with you. Life here is pretty good. The laws are nice, the area is nice. No real climate issues. People are nice here. But that cannot be said for, like, the South or anything like that. Yeah. Life up here is really good. Yeah, Colorado's pretty chill too. That like area, pretty much just Colorado. I mean, all the states around it. Yeah, they got weird laws going on. Colorado's got really good laws. Sometimes living out here, you kind of forget how much of the country is like racist and bigoted and everything, because it's not nearly as much of a problem out in New England. Not even close. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, we have issues, but like, compared to the rest of the country, it's minimal. Completely minimal. I've made it to this duel like 30 times now without passing it once. Oh my god, man. One click away again. Completely stuck here. I thought I had it too. Yeah, New York is sick. Baboon, you think of this? I appreciate it. The main issue living here is the healthcare is still in the US, which is not good. Healthcare in the US is really bad, especially someone who's sick a lot. Yeah, it's really expensive in the US, and it's really hard to get in. And this could be due to a whole bunch of reasons. The main one is the hospitals are clogged constantly because we have the worst food. Not the worst food, but almost the worst food in any first world country in terms of the quality of it. And so people are in all the time for, you know, complications related to that. My parents are victims of that. That's the reason why we was poor for most of my life. Not most, but a good chunk of it. Because my dad's really diabetic and stuff and needed a lot of insulin, and guess what was really expensive? Now Star Plus, yeah. Insulin's one of the most obvious examples and one of the worst offenders by far. The thing is, people are always talking about how it's the product of the modern era and everything used to be better and stuff like that, but that's just not true. I mean, look at cigarettes, right? Look at the branding for cigarettes, and look how long they knew how bad that was for you, but how much money they were making, not only from the cigarettes, but the people going in for health-related issues from said cigarettes. One of the biggest cash cows of all time. It was like this forever. Don't you fucking dare die there again. Ridiculous. Haven't died there in a long time. Yeah. That was not a good death. I don't know what I think about the whole cancer not being cured because of money thing. It's a question that I don't know many of the factors of. I can only guess at the motivation, which of course, like, if there was a cure possible, then there's a decent chance that it would first be gatekept to those with an extraordinary amount of money. But I think ultimately, if such a cure is really possible, the advancement in AI will get it, and unless they gatekeep somehow the AI's ability to stop something like that from coming, I don't see how that could be gatekept forever. Maybe for a good chunk of our lifetime, but there's a decent chance by the time we get old, that won't be even as much of an issue. Personalized medicine is coming in our lifetime. That's why I encourage everyone who feels like they have an uncurable, untreatable, unfindable disease, just wait. That's what I'm doing. It's coming very quickly. Probably within this decade or the next one. So just survive until then. That's my advice to you. Neo, thank you for the sub. Yeah, that's we were talking about that earlier, actually. People faking autism. That's how we got here through some long, winding conversation road. But yeah, it's a really big issue. I don't know what the right word is for that, but it's annoying for sure. Disrespectful to go for it, yeah. Yeah. Some sort of major immune disorder that I can't find. Of the nature of which is unknown to this point, but it is there. I don't think the conclusion that AI is going to take is going to be this, like if AI is given all that power, I don't think it's going to be this, like, dystopian, we need to eradicate human situation. They're going to just be like, oh, I found a way that human beings and the rest of the earth can live in basic harmony. As long as this is done, and, you know. And you'll have people complaining, oh, it's not going to make me enough money. Well, in the end game of that whole thing, no one has that much money. And then people will scream at you, like, oh my god, socialism. No, it's just it's best for everyone if we share the resources. Greed. Evil. America successfully convinced people to look at homeless people with a sense of disgust and frustration that they didn't try hard enough, which is really, really interesting to me. That they actually managed to pull that off somehow. Having AC is really nice. And water and ice cubes in the water is also really nice at Europe. You guys should try that. And bathrooms you don't have to pay for, yeah. As much as I love Europe, I mean, every place has random things that are better in other places. Every place is like that, except for maybe like some places in like Africa or something, unfortunately. Colonialism. Joshua, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Remember, you can develop heat stroke at any temperature, like above 80, like 5. If you're exerting yourself out there for too long without hydration. So don't let anyone tell you you're being weak or anything like that. They're probably just well hydrated, to be honest with you. It's not about weaker strength or anything like that. It's just stupid. Keep hydrated, stay safe. Wear loose clothing. The second click was completely fine. The first click was like middle of the blue orb, which is stupid. Yeah, I just think the concept that you should have to work in order to have basic human rights is stupid. Or like, because a lot of the times you can't even get a job. It's like an infinite cycle of, well, what are your credentials? And then you're like, well, I was homeless forever. And then they'll be like, well, then you're not getting a job. Okay. Cool system, guys. America just kind of left them behind, I guess. I think the idea that you need all these credentials is stupid. Anyway, for literally anything. Yeah. I don't know why you needed, like, credentials to work at, like, a Starbucks or something like that, or you need to do all this, and this, all these hoops, and everything. Resumes are very, very rarely about, your actual skills. Because a lot of jobs are completely useless, just there for the economy. Jobs where you just sit there in a chair for 8 hours and do nothing, pretty much, and then complain about it when you get home. Stuff like that. What applications are really usually about is how long have you spent climbing the social and corporate ladder, and do you deserve to climb it a rung further? Like, are you on that part where you're about to do that? That's what it actually is. And so if you're not on that ladder at all, people are just gonna be like, screw you. And that's the whole problem right there. Mini has been good. I've been playing it semi-frequently. It's been better now that Allergy season's over and I'm able to play with a bit more drive, I guess, because it's been a long time since I had the energy to play Mini a while. It'd be cool if I can get to, like, Gamma down before next Allergy season. Or, like, that relative skill level. Just being able to do, like, really dense, like, 260 and, like, quarter jacking, like, 130 and 140 and everything. Stuff like that. Really? We have that many good players in the US? I don't think we did. I'm trying to think, like, what we even got, really, going on for us. I doubt Cell's playing. Can't even remember names. Also because I doubt they're gonna put, like, a 285 hand stream map in the... This is, like, all Epsilon? What? How did people get so good at this game? When I started getting good at it, there wasn't even, like, many deltas at all, like, in the whole thing. Like, new generations, you know? I hate football, can I say it? I don't like watching people get brain injuries. It's like the most, like, testosterone-fueled sport I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know what's going on. Like, I know what's going on, but most of the time it's like, let's watch 12 people run at each other and then intersect, and then let's watch, like, the 2 people that actually matter and see if anything happens there. over and over and over again. Like, seriously, it's so stupid to me. I don't know. Yeah, it does cause more brain damage than boxing, or any other sport in the world. Except for maybe rugby. Yeah, rugby. And hockey's pretty brutal too, actually. Believe it or not. Plays rugby? That's not even... I don't think it's really an American sport much at all. I think it's more Europe somewhere. I don't know where in Europe. Everyone wants to say, like, Ireland, almost. And Great Britain and that sort of thing. I'm gonna start timing out for the Dyna thing if I see it again. So please don't anymore. Normally when for some reason it's pissing me off right now. It's just the right combination of emote and words to piss me off. No watch with audio? Well then someone warn him. Damn. Penalty boxes. Yeah, I like the penalty box. And it causes like a power play or something like that. But it's really funny. Like when I think about that, like in terms of other stuff, like imagine like you're playing bridge or something, you're doing like a 3v3, and like someone gets like removed, so it's like a 3v2 for like a minute or something like that. You should get put in the penalty box for a ghost block clutching, in my opinion. Yeah, if they find out you're reaching, they don't even ban you. You could put in a penalty box, and then you're expected to turn it off. I was in a Jersey Mike's, and sometimes I'll be in public places and songs that I've heard in Mania maps will just start playing, and I'll be like, what is going on? In this case, it was The Sound, which is like an alpha sample tech map or something, and it just started playing. I was like, am I tripping? I don't know. I had to think really hard about it, because I've never heard that song outside of Mania in my life. It's just, what is going on? You know, lots of different variations of Can't Take My Eyes Off You. Definitely heard that one out and about. Camilla's like a flower. If that makes sense. The problem with Mania is I just don't think I have the physical development to hit some of the faster patterns. Like when it comes to like chord jack, I'm like, like looking core jack like 160 like dense, and I don't understand. Like I don't think my hands do that. I'd bet trillions they don't do that, no matter what you do to them. Not that I've given up and saying, oh, I'll never be able to do it, because I keep trying to see how far I can push it, but I just don't. How would I ever? I think it has to do with the kind of physicality you developed as a kid. When you started playing, I played so late in my life, really. I was already an adult when I started playing Mania, so kind of very hard to get that sort of physicality, I think, past that age. I think that's why I'm disproportionately way better at tech and stream maps than I am at stamina and jack maps. Unless the stamina map's later, which in case I'm just as good as the other categories, because pretty much tech and stream are the same. If it's light, I can do it. If it's dense, it's over. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I heard Mina started at 18, but even they were like stream god, right? So still kind of more like if I got to my peak skill, that'd probably be more so what I'd be like. Yeah, stream tech, yeah. So same situation as I seem to be falling into. It'll never be that good, but same skill set, same kind of general. Not better at the reading and technicality aspect than the physicality, which is also another reason why people can come into the game and do like dense like 290 and stuff like that and still be able to keep up. Not because it's like impossible to read, because technically reading it isn't so bad, but if you can't physically keep up with it, then you're not going to read it either. It's like how when you're playing Future Dominators and you're not falling behind, it's really easy, Like, if you're not falling behind, it's the easiest map in the world. There's no difficulty to read that at all, but the moment you start missing, then it becomes an incomprehensible blob of randomness. Yeah. Shoegazer actually made us. Shoegazer and Squid are the goats of all time. No one is even close to that level. I'm learning how to do LN, kind of. My biggest problem is, like, slow inverse. I can't... My right hand is, like, it's almost like it's pressing down too hard when I'm holding LN, compared to other stuff. No, I'm talking about a mapper named Squid. That's KWID, the goat. No one has ever mapped like him, and no one ever will again. Just the absolute goat of like low density tech streams. No one has it. That's good. No one has song representation that good either. No one has it like that. Gale's really good too. I don't like Scala much, honestly. Okay. Future Dominators is just like the ultimate physicality test. I see that more as a core jack map than a stamina. I mean, like hinge mode. Because ultimately, it's pretty much can you keep up with the anchor. Good night, bro. For tuning in. Yeah, I own the Npesta Vods channel. I'm gonna shout it out next video I upload. It should be soon. It's not run by me though, no, but it is my it's my Vods channel. You know what I mean? I will never make a shorts channel. That's not happening. I didn't want to upload my my reaction to 2.2 because I'm not much for like a react channel, you know. But I guess I mean the thing still has like 80,000 views, so I guess I failed. But I mean, in an effort to document all my VODs, I guess something like that had to happen, right? That's what the stream is titled, and I did stream it. So, oh well, right? Big Farm Poop, thank you for the sub. Okay. I'm not opposed for any moral reason, I just don't like, I don't know. I can't really describe why. I guess it's not my style. But it's not any moral reason. That's the thing, yeah. I only really want to make long form videos, and even if they're like in other games or something like that, it's still my content. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if it was a completely different game, as long as it's some sort of long form something, that still feels like me, I guess. My best game mode? I don't know, I kind of suck at most game modes, but I'm decent at Wave, but I wouldn't say it's my best. Definitely the worst at Ship out of all of them. I'm definitely solid at Cube. Solid at Ball. Solid at UFO. Not good at Robot. I'd say probably one of the timing game modes. I'd say just whichever one applies is probably my best game mode. I'm much better at ship when I have nerves, actually. I like focus way more on it or something. I don't know. Ship when it like only matters a little is really hard for me to. I can't get myself to care enough. But also, I don't know. I'm good at like waves that aren't like the hardest wave you ever played in your life. You know, I can't get consistent at this. When it comes to like waves that aren't so bad, I'm actually super consistent with them. So, like this wave, for instance, I don't die here like an awful lot because it's not really that hard compared to the other waves in the level. You know, I mean, I won't die last ship. There's a chance. I mean, I haven't died to the last ship of other stuff that I've played for the same reason. I usually clutch up ships. How high do the nerfs have to be? I don't know. There's like some sort of line, like graph you could draw or something, where it's like as nerves increase, my skill gets better, and then it gets some point where my skill drops to the floor, and then, but if it keeps going long enough, then my skill goes higher than any of the other lines can go. Like, if I'm really nervous, I stop being nervous, and then I completely shut off any part of my brain that doesn't matter, and then I do the thing. There's a reason I didn't die to the end of Keynotes, and there's a reason I didn't die to the end of Oblivion. It wasn't just random chance. I was just simply not dying. If you look at my wave movements at the last wave of Oblivion, you can see I was not dying. It was not going to happen. But I can't even recognize that I'm in that state because my consciousness arguably just shuts off entirely. Like, I'm not anywhere anymore. And it can only happen when it matters more than anything, ever. And Oblivion did. I don't even think this will do that. I don't, like, yeah, I care, but I don't even get nervous when I pass the duel. Which is not good, but I can't control that. I guess. Yeah. Bloodlust felt like that for me, but I was just bad at that part. Like, seriously. I could do none of that. Team End was just genuinely one of the hardest parts in the level for me. I'm worried this ending is just too hard to fluke like that. What are you telling me for? Do you think I think straight fly is the hardest thing? When I think about the hardest parts in ships, I think about, like, you know that one part in Deimos, like Doggy's Deimos, before the break part, where it kind of like sends you into this 4x speed ship, and you go like this, and you have to like guess where you need to click to hold in order to get to the next ship. That's when I think about hard ship. A lot of the time, that's what I think of. When it comes to harder timings, I find ship really hard when the timing isn't super clear because it's more feel based, feeling when you have to click. And then when it comes to like straighter movements in the ship, that's not really so hard. I can do that. I have good control over keeping it steady, but like these up and down movements like this are harder because it's way more feel based than it is like muscle memory based, and that's difficult to get out sometimes. Yeah. really brutal, and it's very much usually the thing that stops any actual progress from happening. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's nothing really set up. Like, the part about chip is also, like, you set up a click, you do a click, and you're not going to do it the same every single time. And then you have to do another click that you then have to guess the timing of based on the previous click. And I don't think that part in demos, it just sets you up right there to do it. But since every timing you need to do next relies on the click previous, it's hard to get consistent just because you're never going to do things the exact same way every time. Same with wave, kind of, but it's so, like, diagonal and easy to predict what's going to happen next, comparatively. Nice. Or, I think the most fun thing you can do in the entire game is, like, click a yellow orb into a yellow portal and then hold in a ship. It's just, like, universally one of the most fun things you can do in a level, I think. Like, that one part of Stalemate Redux, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the very start of that ship. That's so, like, it's so fun. Yeah, it just, I don't know what it is about that timing that makes you feel so cool. But it's like, it's so sick. Ship can be really fun if you make it right, but it's hard. And half the time I don't even understand why I like a ship so much. I can't even really put it into words half the time. So it's hard to recreate something that you can't fully explain yourself. Average hater of the mini-wave. It could be annoying at high speeds, I feel like, but I don't know. Half speed mini-wave, when like all the timings are like, the screen isn't doing anything crazy, everything's clear about what you have to do, can be super satisfying, like getting those tight timings down if they're not so hard that they can get consistent. Like more so than even regular wave, like, I don't know. But it's hard to control what's going to happen to the next click for sure. In a mini-wave. In general, regular wave is better though, yeah. When it comes to like slower gameplay though, I prefer mini. There's a certain kind of wave that doesn't really get made anymore, and it's gonna be hard for me to like describe what it is. I don't know, it's like, waves are never really like long anymore, or they're the entire level. Like there's not like wave parts that are just like at the end of maybe a certain section of the song, and it's like 7 seconds, and you're doing like shorter clicks and going into portals and stuff like that. It's not a super common thing, as much so anymore as it was. It's usually, people like making these like short bursty waves that are just like 3 clicks or whatever, which is fine, but I don't think they're very fun or consistent. Like maybe when you do them, they feel pretty good, but I don't know. That's really cool. Yeah. Just try to fly directly into the thing there. The bullshit physics. Sometimes you misallocate how long you need to go up and it's over. It's rare, but I mean, it happens, you know. I like waves that feel like it's still you deciding when you need to click, and you're not just like sharding out like a click pattern that you know or something. But it still feels like you're doing it. If you put too many portals and everything in it, then it kind of takes away from that. I like when it feels like you're the one thinking about each click and what's gonna happen and everything like that. I wish I knew how to make good gameplay. Because I think I could make good gameplay if I, like, understood structuring better, probably. So at the very least, I have a set of principles about what it is that I enjoy to some extent. I did, yeah. And then I don't think I've ever made anything like I'm super proud of in terms of gameplay, even for parts. It's all just kind of been like, I made it, so there it is, I guess. To be fair, it's not something I devote a lot of time to, so that makes sense. As, you know, as things go, if you don't devote time to it, you're not going to get any better at it. What? That can't be true. I know. This is crazy. Why don't I just get passively better at it over time? Like it's a tycoon or something. I'm glad you like my Delta part. Whenever a part of mine gets merged, I always like feel the click thing's a bit off, but I can't tell if it's just me being ass or if just that's the product of merging levels. Go is underrated. I played it for a while. It was one of the last things where everyone was in on it. Like you could be anywhere and people would be talking about it. We don't got things like that no more. Why is that? Fortnite Go. The problem is it requires a lot of things that aren't like classic series aren't really getting made anymore. Have you guys noticed? Like whenever we're talking about like big cultural phenomenon, it's usually using brands or like things that started like a zillion, billion, trillion years ago, and things like that aren't even getting made as much anymore. Like Mario, Pokemon, stuff like that. There's no like new series. There's no new. They need to make a new, and there's no new. So there's not gonna. They can't. They need to make a either if they want to get a big hit like that again, they either need to use one of those already existing concepts to make a new idea that they haven't tried before, which is like impossible because they already did all of that, right? Or they have to make something new, which isn't going to work in today's market because everyone only wants what they know will be good. Otherwise, they'll just go back on their phones, and so it's a losing game. You can't actually win that game, so it may never happen ever again. Anyway, my stomach's growling, so I should probably eat now. I ain't eaten dinner yet. Damn, bro. I tried really hard today. I really did. I mean, I guess, you know, I can take some solace in saying that to myself. I tried my best, but my best wasn't anything. It didn't do anything, and I'm kind of sad about that. But I'll just keep trying every day. I'm gonna put a bit more focus into this and maybe be a little less entertaining, but I really want to be better as a player, so you know. I believe that I'll be able to hopefully eventually get this done. I can only hope, right? Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care. Have a good one.